What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pat's Chat. I'm Doug Kyed, joined as always by Michael Hurley. And Michael, we are a proud member of the CLNS Media Network. Make sure to hit subscribe to the Pat's Press Pass, Pat's Chat, all those channels. Turn on notifications for when a new video drops on the channel. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I was just telling you, I'm a little uncomfortable today because I'm a little nervous because we're coming off our longest podcast of all time.
That is true. Hour and a half.
And our most listened to. So thank you to everyone
That
for
is
that.
true too.
So I'm a little nervous because for the first time in Pat's Chat history, I brought notes, like a ton of notes. And I'm just scared what that means for our little podcast here because I don't know if people could tell, Doug. Probably not because we're professionals. A lot of riffing on this podcast. So to come with a plan is a little unnerving on my behalf. So I need you to hold my hand through this one.
I've done a lot of research over the last, let's call it 3 days, but I have no notes, which is kind of uncommon for me. Maybe not that uncommon for a Wednesday show, but
yeah,
if you're listening to this right now on Apple Podcasts, hit 5 stars and leave a review. That's all you need to do. And it'll make us happy. It'll give me a nice little like endorphin rush.
Yeah. Like a kid, that's like an adult male version of a Labubu is getting a positive review on your podcast. That's the
Maybe
ultimate.
It'll cause me to order one less thing off Amazon this week.
It probably will. Will. And I also did homework. I told you I did homework for the podcast, which is a rare thing these days. Do you want to know what it was?
What?
Well, first of all, I left it upstairs, so I'm going to have to leave you at some point to actually get my work.
Oh no!
Which is perfectly on brand.
Can you like text your wife or one of your children?
Yeah, I'll do that. But it was, there's been a lot of talk this week.
Get Ruby to bring it down.
Ruby would probably fall, and then we'd have to go to the hospital, and she'd have to fix her busted lip, I'm sure. So I would say there's been a lot of talk, and I like to do this. Generally, back when I was writing stories on the regular, I like to do this. Everyone's talking, saying X, 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 X. And it's like, well, is X true? So I want to look into it. And it was Will Campbell's play on Sunday. Was it that bad? I wanted to look into. So I just went back, watched every snap of Will Campbell, and there was either a pass or fail. It was a pass fail. So sometimes a pass, he didn't have to do much. So it's really about the fail count. And this is a tease because I don't have the homework in front of me. And so later in this podcast, you will find out just how bad Will Campbell's day was on Sunday, or good. It's up to, nobody knows. I do.
Can't wait to find that out later. We will talk about that later because I watched some Will Campbell as well, actually, over the last few days. Has your mind changed at all about Jarrett Stidham now that all of the Broncos fans have changed their Twitter avatars to a picture of Jarrett Stidham's face wearing sunglasses?
I've come around. Well, I've come to settle on this, and I feel like I expect, generally speaking, some representative quarterback play out of Jarrett Stidham.
Wow, this is a huge praise compared to what you were saying on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, there's sort of the shock factor, I think, was still at play over the weekend, but I just think there's so much we don't know about him, right? Yeah. And one of those things could be, does he puke on his shoes in a big moment? We don't know that. Did he even play any big games at Auburn?
That's a good question. I think I watched every single one of his Auburn snaps when the Patriots drafted him.
Very exciting life.
But that was also 6 years ago.
Yeah. So I'm going to say no. I don't remember Auburn having prominent playoff.
I don't remember him being a national championship quarterback. No.
I'm going to guess he played in a bowl game that sounds funny. So this is going back anyways, 2017, 2018. Yeah. It's been a long time. So the 2018 Auburn
also played
Tigers,
at Baylor, but didn't play much.
Do we have a schedule? Either way, you get the point. He's never played in a big NFL game. He probably never played in a big college game. So that part we don't know, right? Like
he beat Purdue 63-14 in the Music City Bowl in 2018.
Yeah, Purdue had a decent squad that year, so you got to tip your cap. But I just say
he lost to UCF in the Peach Bowl in 2017.
Yeah, some guys can handle UCF and others can't. But I just think if that's the case and he comes out.
Lost in the SEC Championship to Georgia in 2017.
Okay, so he has played a big game and he lost. How did he do?
16 of 32, 145 yards, 1 touchdown. They lost 28-7.
Yeesh. So I'm not going to hold that against him. Just as if he played decently, I wouldn't really say it's a sign of things to come. He's not played in a big NFL game. Who knows? We CJ Stroud is bad in these moments. Justin Herbert is bad in these moments. It's very possible Jarrett Stidham is bad in these moments. But I think on the other hand, when you have a backup, and you know this, everyone knows it, like there's a simplified game plan, and you're going to do what he's comfortable. And the fact that he's been there for 3 years and is sort of part of the system rather than a random backup that doesn't really fit, there's a chance he comes out, and by representative, I mean throws for 170 yards and a touchdown or two and doesn't turn it over. And if he does, then you've got a real football game. And I think that's probably the high end of what he can do, but I think it's possible, if not maybe even a little realistic.
I believe Sean Payton said that Jarrett Stidham's going to come out and rip. Did you see that quote from him?
I've seen a couple of quotes.
So I'm looking it up right now. He said he's going to rip it, and that'll be our approach. He's got this calm demeanor that I think suits him well. He also said something pretty wild. He said about the Broncos, they're going to have a lot of rest after this one. 2 weeks. So that's...
so he's ready.
I think he's guaranteeing a win.
But
pretty rare for a head coach.
They will still get a lot of rest if they lose as well.
At least 2 weeks.
At least 2 weeks. So got to factor that in. But no, I think, I almost expect Stidham to be borderline mediocre.
I think I said it on last week's show.
Yeah, he can't play worse than Stroud is what you said.
I don't think he's going to be worse than Herbert or Stroud. Just like the bar is so low that I think he can pretty easily clear that bar.
Right. And I think that's accurate. Maybe you helped turn me around. But I mean, you go back to the last time he played in an NFL game, and that's what will ultimately hover over this more than anything, is it's been so long. And
it has been so long.
I tweeted out a quote this morning. I don't know if you saw it. It was from Jordan Palmer, his throwing coach. I did
see that one. I love how we're going super hard on Jarrett Stidham quotes early. Because I got one now too. I got one in the docket.
I randomly came across this Jarrett Stidham story recently. I don't know why, but I remember reading this quote like 3 weeks ago. So it was fresh in my mind. And Jordan, what's his name?
Palmer.
Jordan Palmer came out on the Dan Patrick Show and said that if Drake May plays his best and Jarrett Stidham plays his best, they'll be the same. Obviously dumb. So I had this quote. This is from 2020, to put in perspective, Jordan Palmer on Jarrett Stidham. To be clear, I think he is a star, and he is going to be a big-time franchise quarterback. I've felt that way for a couple years now. I'm totally fine saying that. I don't care that he went 4th round. I think he is legitimate. He is going to be the leader of New England for a long time, whenever that starts. Go ahead and jump on that bandwagon. To be clear, what followed after that was they signed Cam Newton. He didn't start a game, and then he left via trade.
He had back surgery during the 2021 training camp.
Yeah, and he did come back. Year. He came back in November but didn't play.
Right.
And then was traded for a 7th, 6th round pick swap type situation.
To the Raiders.
Where he started.
Where Josh McDaniels was.
1 game? 2 games?
2 games. I think he started 2 games for the Raiders.
And 2 games for the
Broncos.
And 2
the next year with the Broncos.
Yeah. So he has not turned into a star. So there's definitely, Jordan Palmer's probably the wrong case, but there's definitely a lot of pumping going on. That's probably over the top. I think ceiling is borderline mediocre. And what you get from there is it's enough to make other elements of the game play big factors in what happens.
For sure. I'm going to give you one more quote on Jarrett Stidham before we stop the Jarrett Stidham quotes.
Yes.
This was from Milton Williams. He was asked what he knows about Broncos quarterback Jarrett Stidham. He said, nothing. I ain't going to lie. Nothing. We're going to watch the tape on him and figure out what he likes to do, but no. They didn't like him over Bo. So, and
that was a funny line. That was a funny line.
Broncos fans are using that as, or Broncos aren't using that as bulletin board material, but Broncos fans are, which I think is kind of funny.
It's factual. It's the greatest way.
It's just factually correct. Like
to talk a little trash because it's like facts only. Facts have been spoken.
Right. Like Jarrett Stidham basically has to be like, all right, well, the Patriots players feel the same way about me as my own coaching staff does.
Yeah. It's a good line.
It is. Yeah.
Shout out to Milton Williams. Who knew? Like, do you think he meant it? I watched it. Do you think there was intent that it was a little bit of a dig, or do you think he was just telling the truth?
I think he was just kind of being honest. I was there for it, so yeah.
Pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. Okay. I don't want to spill all my guts on the Broncos Patriots matchup here right now, but I do think that this is the biggest element. So, Patriots defense has been fantastic, phenomenal. What other F sound words you want to use for them over the last 2 games and for a lot of the season. But they have gone against 2 very bad offensive lines.
Yes.
So that's a big factor. And I think that in order to get pressure on Stidham, which you're probably going to want to do, you're probably going to have to blitz a lot, which Zach Core has shown a tendency to want to do. So that might be a big part of the game plan. The other thing, though, is the Patriots have been also phenomenal and fantastic at stopping the run. Really, whenever Robert Spillane and Milton Williams are on the field together, teams cannot run against them. That's going to be a massive problem for the Broncos if they can't run the ball in this game, because then that just forces them to rely on Jarrett Stidham, puts the ball in his hands, forces him to throw the ball, 40 times, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, the offensive line plays into that as well. They could wind up creating a lot of space to run. But Patriots, I have confidence in the Patriots defense that they can still stop the run. But this is another test, I would say, for the Patriots defense to put up that kind of performance once again against what Milton Williams called the best offensive line they faced all season.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I think it works both ways too, because one, you could look at last week when the Texans running attack was non-existent. I think that's fair to say. They rushed for running backs, rushed for 31 yards. Like you mentioned, Cade Stover was the best running back. He's not a running back. And you can look at RJ Harvey and say he's fine, just like Woody Marks.
Right.
Pretty similar. I don't know if J.K. Dobbins is going to be back, if that changes too much.
Right. And like even still, if he is, who knows if it's going to be another Omari and Hampton situation where he carries the ball once for negative yards and never does it again.
Correct. A guy that hasn't played since week 10 with a foot injury, probably pushing it to come back. I wouldn't expect a big game out of him, but I do think you're right to point out it's probably the offensive line more than the actual running backs. But I think that works both ways. And I was thinking, you mentioned the blitzes. You almost you're just not going to get to the quarterback as quickly as you have the past 2 weeks.
No.
It has been a red carpet laid out for you. And I think the best example is Marcus Jones pick 6. Like Milton Williams is in the backfield. Kayvon Chason is killing the quarterback. Like that is how you blow plays up. Yeah. It's going to be a much more professional operation on the line this week. And that's why there's more pressure. So there's going to be more pressure on Christian Gonzalez, who I think we've said plenty of nice things about, but if you've seen the numbers flying around, we've probably underdone it on how well he's played this postseason.
Yeah, I mean, well, certainly this postseason, I would say all season long, there's been this kind of oh, he's not having that good of a year. And he's been good. He's been good all year. He hasn't had the highlight plays that he's had this postseason, but yeah.
Yeah. So PFF posted this playoff, 19 targets, a 36.8 completion rate, 0 touchdowns, 4 forced incompletions, I would say pass breakups, and a 45.3 passer rating when targeted. And even that, by PFF metrics, is probably counting those little swing passes in the flat, where he comes in and makes the tackle. So it really, when it says 19 targets and a 37% completion rate, I don't even think it's that high. So he has to be continuing on that. I think you need Carlton Davis back, and he was on the field today.
He was participating in drills, wearing the red non-contact jersey. So he's pretty much feels like he's on the same trajectory as Christian Gonzalez was last week. We'll see if that continues, but it's a pretty big break. 2 weeks in a row to have cornerbacks leave the game in concussion protocol and then seemingly be fine for the next game.
Yeah. I didn't actually see his injury, so it's hard to do our fake doctor thing and be like, oh, it wasn't that bad. But so that I guess made it a little uncertain. But then the other thing, that complement of pass catchers in Denver is it better than Houston without Nico Collins?
Yes.
Is it a lot better than the Texans without Nico Collins? You have
what about the Texans without Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz?
I know that developed in the game, but Cortland Sutton is a good receiver, right?
Yeah, he would be the best receiver on either team.
Patrick Bryant's a rookie. I don't know how much you looked into him
Right.
before the draft. Higgins was a rookie last week, didn't
Right.
exactly present much of a threat. Little Jordan Humphreys catching passes for them, like that tells
That is
you
an indictment. Yeah.
That tells you where they're at offensively, and that was with their starter. So I just think
I would say Evan Ingram better than Cade Stover. Troy Franklin, certainly more productive than those other Texans receivers were.
Mims had a massive game last week. I think Mims is a threat in the punt return game. I think he averaged over 15 yards per return, which is pretty crazy. So he is he seems to have if last week's an indication, maybe he is more of a threat, speed threat. But it just puts a little bit more pressure on your corners. I think if Carlton Davis takes a PI, it's going to mean more this week than it did last week. But
that's fair. Yeah.
I think my overall feeling on that is if you take the Patriots defensive backfield against that receiving core, you give the check mark to New England.
Yeah, no, for sure. And
even if the pass rush isn't what it has been.
Right, because you give the check mark probably to the Broncos offensive line. Even though guys like Milton Williams and Caleb Von Chasen aren't playing very well right now, it is a very good offensive line. But yeah, you do give the check mark to the defensive backs. And that includes Stidham as well. And I think I would, then obviously you give the check mark to the secondary over Stidham plus the wide receivers. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if Stidham is comfortable, he can make passes, I think. He throws the ball.
The problem is that we got a comment in here from the real masterful. Stiddy has been on a 2-year bye. So
well rested.
Yeah. Very well rested.
His lungs will be ready to go in that thin Denver air, I would think.
Yeah.
That's a 2-year bye. That's the most dangerous lead in hockey, I believe is the saying.
We did get another comment in here. Any news on Mac Hollins or Carlton Davis? Other practice tests is today pretty indicative of what to expect. We already talked about Carlton Davis, the fact that he was out there in drills, despite wearing a red non-contact jersey. Good sign. For Mac Hollins, listen, it's Wednesday at 7:22 p.m. The fact that he wasn't out there for the first practice of the week is, to me, a very bad sign for his status. Who knows? Maybe something miraculous happens and he practices, then gets clear. But it's been 4 weeks. If he can't practice by the Wednesday, the chances of him practicing by Thursday or Friday, then playing for Sunday, seems slim, but we'll see what happens.
And that's another one you can credit Pat's Chat doctors for, because we noted when they put him on IR, it's I don't think they expect him back if he's not going to be available into the AFC Championship game or Super Bowl if they get
because when there's an injury, there's not an exact timeline on it. So if
it was 3 or 4 weeks, they would have not.
They can't look at him and be like, that's an exactly 4-week injury. He cannot possibly play until the AFC Championship game, but we promise he can play that week. Yeah, if it was a 2 to 4 week injury, 3 to 4 week injury, probably would not have been placed on IR at all, because that's what happened with Christian Gonzalez to start the season. Misses 3 games, active for the 4th.
Right. So, and the other thing, you don't want to overdo it too much, but assuming you can win this game without him, which I think the Patriots can, if he were somewhere near a comeback, you have 2 weeks, obviously, until the next game. And that's a pretty significant. But correct me if I'm wrong, they're not opening the practice window, right?
No, but I mean,
there's no reason
means he
not
can't
to
practice yet. What?
I know, but if you have...
Yes, there is.
Well, 21 days until you have to either activate him or put him on IR for the season.
Well, if you can't practice, then you can't open the practice window.
I know, but if you go 21 days from today, you have January 42nd, which is after the Super Bowl.
Well, so but that would require him to be able to practice.
Right, but I'm saying if he were on the fence or close to it, there's no harm in activating the window.
No, but he has he would have to practice to open the window. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Some people were confused about that online. I didn't think you'd be one of them. But
you know what? Some of us have things going on in our lives. I would say this is another thought I have on the injury front.
Yeah.
I'd almost sit Landry down for this game. He's got the knee injury. Didn't practice, right? He was a DNP today.
Right. Yeah.
And he gave you virtually nothing on Sunday. I think he played 11 snaps.
11 snaps, yeah.
He's been dealing with that injury. Yeah. We weren't sure if it was a veteran resting or an injury. It's an injury. I don't know the benefit of a one-legged Harold Landry taking the field for you on Sunday, knowing it could set him back more, where theoretically, if he doesn't play this week, that's 3 weeks for his knee to get better.
Right.
And he could probably give you something if you are to make it to the Super Bowl. I don't think there's like your risk benefit balance there. I don't think there's much benefit in playing him hobbled on Sunday in this game.
Yeah, there's really not a lot of purpose in playing him for 11 snaps again or whatever it was. Like Anthony Jennings is making plays right now. Elijah Ponder's doing fine. You've got Darrell Taylor on your practice squad as well if you want to elevate him. So yeah, I'm with you on that one, where it probably the benefit of giving him 3 weeks rest and and hoping you win is probably more beneficial than putting him out there and
just to like
accomplish.
Just to animate that, right? Because it's kind of like we talk about it in this specious way. I would say not getting on an airplane, flying across the country, standing on the sideline or sitting in a booth, flying back instead of say like sitting in a tub and getting work done is just more beneficial. I know that sucks, but it just feels like you've got bigger goals at this point, which you probably didn't expect.
Right.
And you're facing a quarterback on a 2-year bye to follow a term. Like you should be able to win this game without forcing it on guys like that.
It's very, very true. I want to talk about the road element here. Altitude in Denver. Not always the most interesting thing to talk about, but I'm writing a story for tomorrow morning. I've actually already written it, spoiler alert, but it's in the scheduled folder.
You mean you guys don't write those at like 3 a.m. right before print?
I actually, that's my ink. I handwrite every single one in perfect type. No, I don't do that. Patriots, the whole Road Warriors thing. They're 8-0 on the road. And by offensive metrics, they've actually played better on the road than they have at home. Like EPA per play, EPA per pass. Defense is almost negligible, the difference on the road versus home. I think usually in a matchup like this, where you have to travel to Denver, you have to go there in front of a raucous crowd, the altitude, all of these things, usually that would be a huge, I guess, I don't know, potential deficit for the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I look at it this way, just because they have been so good on the road. Maybe I'm fooling myself by the 8-0 record on the road, but it's like the fact that they were able to beat the Bills on the road and then lose to them at home means something, right?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily even new. I feel like late in the Belichick run, they were winning more on the road than at home. But I don't know. I think that place is different. I think there are a few places.
The 0-4 record in the playoffs?
Well, that's less. It's more about because the 2013 Patriots lost there. Who was the receiving core that year? Like, what's his name? Don't tell me. Don't tell me who was the former Colt who got his head knocked in a million times.
Was he 2013 or 15? Austin Collie.
He was 13, wasn't he?
Maybe. 15 was just bad. 15 was Steven Jackson at running back.
15 was just Gronk, Edelman, Gronk.
And it was Edelman on one foot.
Yeah, that was Austin Colley's last year. Came to the Patriots, caught 6 passes for 63 yards in the regular season. Had 5 targets in the playoffs. Like that team wasn't built to win.
That was 13 then.
13, correct. Okay. I don't think that is, but I mean, they just beat the Bills there. It's a difficult place to play.
Right.
I think the noise there is a factor like it is maybe only in Seattle and Kansas City.
Yeah.
I think you have a rookie left tackle who I will give you some information on after we do an ad break. That's when I'm going to get my notebook. Who's going to be a beat behind against a guy who had 14 sacks this year. I think that's the biggest element, but I don't want to overstate it because I said this last week. You have 2 premier pass rushers on the Texans. They're not going to sack the quarterback every play. Like if Drake May has 35 dropbacks, he'll be hit 5 times, pressured 5 more.
Right.
That leaves 25 opportunities for him to make an impact, and I think he will. Yeah. So I do think ultimately you can overcome it, but I think it is a real challenge, and I don't know if we look past the fact that Drake May is still young, and this is a massive spot with a lot of more eyeballs on him than he's ever had, and everyone's going to be loud, and they're not selling tickets to people from New England, and I don't know. I don't completely discount that. I think there's maybe 3 stadiums in the league that I would say that about, and this is one of them.
I think that's fair. I think it is a difficult place to play, obviously. Um, and yeah, the Patriots are 0-4 in the playoffs there, which I don't put a lot of stock into because you were playing Peyton Manning and probably John Elway. And
And they got screwed in '05 because the Ashley Lilly Asante Samuel pass interference was completely phantom, and also Ben Watson knocked Champ Bailey out at the one,
that
and
is
the ball
true.
went through the end zone. It was very obvious they knew with the brain. So there was some screw job element there. What, but could happen again.
Yeah, very true. Was
So
that Jake Plummer at quarterback
yeah,
then?
that was Jake Plummer. One thing they announced the referee for this game, Alex Kemp,
Hmm.
the rare NFL official. I have no thoughts or opinions on. It's just he calls the game, and you're like, there he is, Alex Kemp.
That's probably
That's
a
a
good
good
thing,
thing.
honestly.
It's a great thing.
Speaking of which, people are still losing their minds over the interception
We
slash catch
got
in
to
the
save that for
Broncos
later.
Bills game.
We got to save that for later. I don't want to do that now. We had an AFC Championship game to talk about.
That is very true. Yeah. Do you have anything else before you want to get into your Will Campbell stuff? Because we
Yes.
could take a break right now.
Just one more thing. I was doing some work today on the Broncos. First of all, they have a player whose name looks like Karen Reed. So
Yes.
look out for that on Sunday. But everyone knows they have an insane number of sacks this year.
They do. I mean, a lot of their like pass rush metrics are better than the Texans.
So they had
They got a higher
68,
pass rush win rate, higher pressure rate. Yeah.
68 sacks.
Right.
68 is 11 more than the second place team, which might have been the Chargers. I forget. So like Nick Bonito has 14, Jonathan Cooper has 8, John Franklin Myers with 7.5, Zach Allen has 7.
Yeah.
There's 8 players with 2 or more sacks, and then there's 5 more with at least a half. So it's like they're going to come at you from
Right.
all different angles. I think.
And Zach Allen that's a difference maker right there, because really on the Texans you have to worry about the edges so much and not the interior.
Right.
When you've got to question what it's going to look like against Jared Wilson and Garrett Bradbury, that does change things a little bit.
Yeah, and John Franklin Myers as well. I would put in there a veteran. Like he and Zach Allen, I think they're both like 7th, 8th year guys.
Right.
There's a lot of worry there, but then some of the other guys, you've got defensive backs coming in. Like they are scheming. Vance Joseph, right? Vance Joseph has them going all over the place. So I think that's another thing you got to worry about, where we're all sort of like left tackle, left tackle, left tackle. It's going to be coming from all sides. So I think, what's the antidote, Doug? Run the friggin' ball.
Yeah, and that has been a slight weakness. Not weak. I wouldn't even go as far as weakness, but when you're looking at the Texans defense and even the Chargers defense, they were really, really strong across the board. The Broncos are still, I think, top 15 run defense, but they're not quite as strong as the Texans were last week. And the Patriots' rushing attack has been really good recently with Ramondre Stevenson. So, it sounds so boomer to say this, but like truly, the offensive and defensive keys for the Patriots in this game are like run the ball on offense, continue to stop the run on defense.
Yeah, and James Cook and Josh Allen combined for 183 yards last week on the ground.
Right.
So they can be beaten. Cook would have had more if he didn't fumble. I think that they went away from him for a little bit for a time there. So that's the key. Add the third boomer take. Sorry, you had run the ball. There's defense.
Special teams.
Don't fumble. Stop
fumble?
fumbling. Because
I thought it was gonna be the punt game for you.
I think we covered
Don't allow any blocked punts.
Well, hey Doug. Hey Pat's chat listeners who thought I was silly for giving the punt team a plus. Did you watch the national championship game?
I did.
How did those Hoosiers win it? It's by blocking a punt. So, or I guess you say, how did Miami lose it? And it was by blocking a punt and by having Carson Beck trying to engineer a comeback drive. But I would say we covered the fumbles pretty well. You gave Drake May a doom, which I thought was strong, but fair enough, because I don't know how many games you can have your quarterback fumble 4 times and you win.
Right. And like, I do think May threw the ball well in the second half, but a lot of that was we made fun of or we insulted CJ Stroud so much the week before for 5 fumbles that I felt as though it would be disingenuous to then look at Drake May's 4 fumbles and be like, nah, not a big deal.
I would differentiate them because you had literally CJ Stroud with his head in the clouds taking a shotgun snap off his abdomen, then picking it up and then fumbling again. Right. Whereas Drake May's outside of the run were, while trying to pass.
Throwing, yeah.
So it's more about the timing things, but you're right. Let's be fair. Also, you know what I noticed rewatching the game last night was the fumble he had when first of all, we forgot to talk about this. The fumble Drake May had on his run, it looked like either he screwed up or Stevenson screwed up.
Yes.
That was not a designed run. But what I didn't notice, as he's going down, do you know who is coming to absolutely earhole him?
No.
Azeez Al-Shaair, the captain of earholing quarterbacks. And I was like, wow, because you're so focused on the fumble.
Yeah.
And I think Shaair got it. And so I didn't even recognize the time. He was flying right over Drake May's back. Like, that could have been way worse than just a fumble. Yeah. But I don't know how many games. Like, what's the percentage, do you think, on percentage of games you can win if your quarterback fumbles 4 times? It's got to be 25%. And you were lucky to be in that 25% last week. But it goes around. Did you see? You probably didn't because you were working. Stafford had a fumble last week. It would have been game changing, but it fell right at his feet and he got it.
Right.
And it's these things do happen.
Those things do happen. Yeah.
You're really tempting fate, I think. And to me, it's you got to protect it when you run, but that time in the pocket, Drake May has to be better there. And that's where the road factor, I don't know, maybe he thrives on it. Maybe he'll be better in it, but he has to have that ball out.
All right. Well, I've got something to talk about coming out of our break, but I'm going to let you run and get your Will Campbell stats.
Oh, baby. They're going to deliver.
Tell people. So you run right now. Because now no one will even know because we've got a video up that Michael Hurley is going to get his notes. But I'm going to tell you guys about Prize Picks because this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard. But in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend and elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops, and Prize Picks lets you take control. Real quick, if you download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS, you can get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Michael Hurley is
That was the best
back
ad read I've ever heard in my life.
And we're going to make some Prize Picks. So one thing that stood out to me right away, RJ Harvey, Broncos running back.
Yes.
It's set at 39.5 rushing yards, but you can only pick more. So I don't like that. I probably would have taken less.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Jarrett Stidham? Whoa, it went up as we were doing this. Jarrett Stidham, 194.5 passing yards.
Less.
I'm thinking
Come on
less.
now.
All right.
Whoa. That's crazy.
What, that high?
Yeah. I haven't actually dug into his starts. Right. But he has 4 of them. How many do you think he topped 194?
Probably a lot, but it was
both with Denver.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think they were high scoring games. I don't think this could be a high scoring game.
The other one, 365.
Yeah.
Lost to the Niners in overtime and then 219. So he's always gone over that with his 4 starts. But
Stroud and Herbert barely did anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go. I
don't think he's going to get it.
Do you feel strongly about Patriots wide receivers or Evan Ingram? Evan Ingram, 21.5 receiving yards.
You love the tight end bet.
I know.
You love it. So I'm not going to get in your way.
Well, what do you think about it?
I would think if I'm a backup.
Honestly, they've been pretty good about tight ends recently, but Dalton Schultz did have 40 yards on one play. Don't think that's going to happen again.
There was nobody on that side of the field. I would say if I'm a backup quarterback in a big spot, I'm going to lean on my tight end a lot. So I take the more than there.
Okay.
That seems to be you can work from the inside out, right?
I like it.
Who's going to be the safety blanket?
It's a good question. All right. Passing touchdowns, Drake May, 1.5.
More than. Kid throws touchdowns.
He does throw touchdowns. Wait, pass plus rush plus receiving touchdowns, 1.5. I'm feeling that one even more than just passing.
Yeah.
You could scamper in there.
Sure. I like it.
All right, we got that one in there. Um, Nick Benito sacks 0.75.
I think you got to like your chances of him getting one.
He primarily rushes from the defensive right, which is right at Will Campbell. So, all right, I think that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Anything else you feel strongly about in this game?
Ah,
Jarrett Stidham interception 0.5.
no.
Okay.
I think he might take care of the ball. Who do you think Sertan's going to cover? Booty?
I don't know if he's gonna like play. If he's gonna,
You don't think he's going to follow?
yeah. Sacks
Because
taken. Drake May 3.5. Jarrett Stidham 3.5.
I don't like the Stidham number.
Yeah.
3.5 is probably one more than I would be comfortable with. So,
Yeah.
but I don't like the less than.
Ooh, completion percentage. Drake May 66.2. Jarrett Stidham 58.7.
I don't know, Doug. These are tricky. We're getting into
Robert
dangerous
Spillane,
territory.
7 tackles plus assists. Bryce Baringer,
Yes.
3.5 punts.
Yes. More than
One and a
punts.
half punts inside the 20. You want to go with punts, total punts?
Total punts. I don't like the inside the 20.
All
There's too
right.
much. There's too much thin air. He's going to be booming them. Do you
All
know
right.
the Broncos punter has a 76-yard punt this year?
Wow. So entry
fact.
fee $20 to win 400.
Nice.
All right.
Let's go, Bryce Baringer.
Let's do it. I'm feeling good.
Well, the reason I asked, and this is probably getting back into the game talk, so you can finish
once
that.
again, sorry. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize picks.
Just because I think Riley Moss is the most targeted corner in the league this year.
Oh, yeah.
And he does have a league high 19 pass defenses, 1 interception.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his penalty total,
Right.
but I believe he has several. There's a list.
Yeah,
of
he
that.
hasn't been great this year.
So I kind of like whoever ends up there, whether it's Diggs. Like Diggs against the guy that gets picked on could be good for you.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it's gonna.
Right.
bear
It's
out.
hard. It's hard to know how that's going to shake out.
To
Diggs
me,
has been.
don't you
He's
put
been working from
Surtain
the
on?
slot a decent amount. I haven't checked those numbers recently, but
I'd still put Surtain on Booty just because he's the big play threat, and
Right.
you want to try to limit that if you can take it away. Hard to do because Stingley's pretty good at it too.
right.
But
But
I don't know, it's tricky.
Booty's just kind of got Stingley's number. I think it was from their days at LSU. He's got some sort of tell on him.
apparently, but yeah, I don't know.
So last week, Diggs played almost 60% of his snaps in the slot. And the week before that, it was. This is Doug looks stuff up while we're podcasting. Before that, it was 45.7. So over 2 games, about half his snaps have come in the slot. Yeah, so I don't know. Might not be seeing a lot of Surtain.
Yeah, I think the slot receiver, whether it's going to be Diggs a lot, whether it's going to be Douglas a lot, and probably Henry, I feel like that's similar to what I said about Stidham. I feel like if the goal is to get the ball out and avoid sacks and avoid turnovers, you're going to look to those guys more than you're going to look to your outside guys. So one of those guys will have a bunch of catches. I don't know who it was though, because I don't know the future. Do you want my homework?
Yeah. Oh, I want before you get to your homework, I did want to talk about one thing real quick. Do you think that 31 other NFL quarterbacks could have beaten the Patriots in the divisional round of the playoffs?
Do you want to know my opinion on this?
I do. I'm asking.
I do not think that 31 other quarterbacks would have beaten the Patriots. I would take it a step further. I'd say not a ton of quarterbacks would have beaten the Patriots last week the way that they were wreaking havoc on defense. I would say they made life very difficult. Now,
I think it was as much an offensive line problem as it was a CJ Stroud problem.
Right. Yeah.
Not to defend CJ Stroud. He played terribly.
Sure. I don't really want to do like a deep dive on Dan Orlovsky, but he used to be sort of like a film grinder, you know?
Right. I think he still is.
He's
at his heart.
he's veering into just being a goof. And I feel like I thought he was more than that. I thought he had more intellectual honesty when it came to the coverage he provides. He's being a little bit of a goof.
Well, see, okay, and listen. I think the film
Silly
work that he
goose.
does has been like obviously always been very strong. I think when you say something so strong as 31 other quarterbacks could have beaten the Patriots in that game.
And double down when questioned about it and giving a list.
Yeah, he gave like a list of like 29 guys.
Yikes.
So I think that when you do that, you either have to just eat it and not get upset when people get mad at you, because then like you have veered into, I'm saying some pretty crazy outlandish things right now.
Stupid things. Just
Or
dumb things. Dumb guy stuff.
So like you can't tweet that and be like, then come back and say like, this app will get you, man. Like it, like you either just have to accept that that's who you are now.
Yes.
Or just apologize for it and be like, you know what? That was a crazy thing to say. I was on TV. I won't do that again. And you can't kind of play it both ways where you're acting like people are coming at you. And it's like, well, of course someone's gonna come at you if you say something like that.
Yeah. And I've done that. I've been on TV, especially like with Felger, where you kind of have to be on your
Yeah, everyone says things that like are like dumb and they don't mean in the moment. Yeah.
And you have that like internal clock, like I have to finish what I say because it's someone else's turn to talk. Right. That last thing you say, sometimes you say it and then you're like, what just came out of my mouth?
Yeah.
But that's not what he did. Instead, I'm trying to find the list, Doug, but there's a lot of tweets in here. But the list was preposterous.
Right. Because like, I mean, honestly.
All right, I got it. Ready? This is
the one that I thought was preposterous, even though it's one of the least preposterous names on the list, was Justin Herbert, because we saw him not be able to do it the week before. Yeah. You can't put him on the list when he looked almost as bad as CJ Stroud.
So he was asked, which are the quarterbacks that could beat him? And here's who Dan Orlovsky said could beat the Patriots last week. Matt Stafford, Brock Purdy, Mac Jones, Sam Darnold, Jacoby Brissett, Jordan Love, Malik Willis. Is that who Willis is?
I'm assuming that's who Willis is.
So Malik Willis would have beaten the Patriots last week.
And Jacoby Brissett.
Caleb Williams.
And Mac Jones.
Jared Goff would have done it. Kirk Cousins would have done it. Baker Mayfield would have done it. Bryce Young obviously would have done it. Andy Dalton. He had Dalton, unless there's another Dalton. I don't think it's Dalton Schultz. Because he had a chance. He theoretically could have played quarterback.
Kincaid.
Tyler Shugg, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Jackson Dart. Did he beat the Patriots? No, he didn't. Justin Herbert, who lost to him the week before. Bo Nix. Patrick. That's just ridiculous to put Patrick. I mean, shut up.
Because there's no way that Tim Patrick would have beaten the Patriots at quarterback. He's a wide receiver.
For a second, I was like, Patrick, and it's like, dude, come on. Grow up. Trevor Lawrence, another Jones. Daniel Jones. Both Joneses, Mac and Daniel, will win. Mills.
Patriots can't keep up with the Joneses.
Lamar, Rodgers,
Mills,
Burrow, Allen, and Drake May. It's just a stupid piece of commentary, and to double down like that and then to blame the app. I actually think there's something bigger going on if you really want to know.
Who?
I think there was sort of this feel good. Oh, look at the Patriots winning games. You know, they were down and out. Mike Vrabel, super likable, nationally well known, all that. I think we're learning a lot of these people don't have the stomach for it. As it gets more serious, it's sort of like the fun part is over. Like Kyle Brandt saying the Texans. Did you see that video? No. He was describing the Texans defense after the Steelers game. He was like crawling on the desk saying they're like the girl in the ring. And then Monday was like, well, the Patriots, are they going to be the first team in the Super Bowl that never played anybody? And it's like, you can't do that. And I just think there's just a little bit, and it's fine. Like people have leftover feelings. Cam Newton got goofy again. If you missed it.
Oh, no, I didn't see that. I almost.
He did another fool's gold thing, saying their path is a joke, which is funny. Did you know the 2015 Panthers had one of the easiest schedules of all time? Like, it was the easiest schedule in the league that year. They went 15-1. Then they faced tough defenses in the playoffs, made the Super Bowl. Ultimately, it got them in the end. However, I don't know. It's just coming out. And I just think that everyone reached their saturation point of being okay with this. And now you're starting to see some squirming, and it's coming out in weird ways.
You know what else I think might be happening?
What's that?
And like this just came off my head. And like I'm not accusing Dan Orlovsky specifically of this. But I think that Patriots fans do, and like even media maybe, tend to jump on the rage bait maybe more than other fan bases. And there
Yeah,
is
for
a
sure.
lot of Patriots fans. It's a big market, and it's a team that's really heavily, like their fan base is heavily on social media. There might be a market here for pissing
Yeah.
off Patriots fans, and it might be a market that's making some people some money.
Yeah, and honestly, the way that these social media platforms are designed more and more is to make you pissed off and get you locked in more.
And I mean, this is not a personal shot at anyone, but like a lot of the radio waves in Boston have used rage bait to make careers out of
Right.
for however many years.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a market in that, and maybe the national market is catching up to that.
Yeah. I mean, business is business, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's just something when someone has sort of an honest approach and then it changes. Even Doug, I think
There's
the
not
NFL.
like there's actually not like a columnist or writer right now currently who's leaning into rage baiting the Patriots.
You mean nationally or locally?
No,
Or
locally.
like Shaughnessy's tomato can column isn't coming
Yeah.
out? Yeah. Yeah.
I find that interesting.
Yeah. There's usually a rabble rouser in the mix.
I feel
and
like
now it's-
that existed during the Belichick era, but no one's really doing it because it would be really easy right now
Yeah.
if you were to play that card.
for sure.
All season, you could have been writing schedule columns. You could have been writing. They haven't played one. They still haven't played anyone. Just haven't seen a lot of it.
I did mean to add, like we talked about it the other day, the NFL Live crew, all 5 of them picking the Texans.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a lot of them are smart, intelligent people. And it's just like, that was egregious to watch the Texans play that game against the Steelers
Yeah.
and say on a short week, they're going to travel and beat the Patriots. That was actually crazy for all of them. If you pick the Texans, whatever, but like for unanimous, it does speak to a larger sentiment that I think that people don't want to see this.
I think these weeks are too long and people get bored and they convince themselves that something different is going to happen and it just doesn't.
Homework time.
Okay,
the
yes.
people have been waiting for
They have.
47 minutes. They're like, I want Mike's homework. This
Yep.
is Will Campbell's body of work against the Texans. I just gave a simple win or loss, like I said. And a win was pretty easy to get.
Okay.
If there's a runoff right tackle and you just step up and get in the, so don't get hung up on the win.
Pass
It's more
forward,
about the
yep.
number of bad reps. You've got 29 rushes. I had him down for 10 bad reps out of 29 rushing attempts, which is not the best.
Pretty high. Yeah.
And what I defined, this is a loose definition. If the guy he was supposed to block makes first contact with the running back, that's a bad rep. If he whiffs on his guy, that's a bad rep. If he now some of the wins, when he gets to the second level, it's a sight to be seen. He's great hunting out cornerbacks, nickelbacks, linebackers. It's fun to watch. So it's not like it's a failure performance, but he did have a number of bad reps. The more pressing ones, 33 pass reps. I had him with 7 losses. So that doesn't sound horrific, right? Guys get beat. It's just some of the losses, strip sack, and that was with help.
The one with Henderson?
That was later. There was one earlier, the first strip sack.
Okay. The one that came off the right?
So it was actually the one he wasn't responsible for the sack necessarily, but his guy ended up getting in back. He didn't block his guy.
Right.
And he ended up on the ground, and then he ran back and recovered the fumble. Another sack. There was the move. Anderson did it, and someone else did it. It wasn't Hunter. I'm blanking on the other pass rusher, where they tried to jump over him, sort of like little brother him. And it seemed to be, they seemed to have identified a vulnerability, because had he been ready for that, like, you can deck the guy, and he was more backing off. So there seemed to be a common thread there, but another strip sack, that was the one, the Henderson one. Henderson whiffed on his help.
Yeah, and I think that throws off the timing for Campbell too.
Yeah, so I mean, Campbell in open space.
But that's not ideal.
No.
Like when someone's struggling like Campbell is, you can't just say, "Oh, well, you can't give him help because that throws off his timing." You have to work all week on figuring out how it can't throw off his timing.
Yeah, there's just something about him with space. It's like added space between him and the pass rusher is not an advantage.
Right.
I think he's better attacking than he is waiting.
Right.
So, I mean, that's part of it. And you
The one strip sack that he gave up without help, that was in like 2 seconds flat also to Anderson. The last one, I think it was.
was that the one where he came around the back? That was the one that Campbell recovered. The second recovery? No, it was later.
No,
it was not recovered. Yes, that was a bad one.
Yeah.
I would say like the one that he did recover, that he gave up, there was still a timing issue. I think Drake May held that too long, so it was twofold. But there were a number of passes. May got it out when he did get beat. So it was a problem. It was a problem. So 33 pass rush reps, 7 losses. Not the end of the world. I heard people this week moving him to guard.
Yeah, and like I think that's an overreaction. On my mailbag being like, "Do you bring in Vidarian Lowe and Ben Brown?" And it's like, well, no, they're not going to do that. Yeah. But also,
so like that's I guess my takeaway. It was as bad as being said. I do believe that doesn't mean the conclusions are accurate. Right. It was a bad performance as much as it seemed watching it live.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally fair to say. And the answer to how to figure this out, I think one thing is you do practice how to give him help without screwing him up. I think you do try to get the ball out faster. You do try to have everyone on the same page offensively as far as the timing element of all of these passes go. But he's also just got to play better. I mean, I know how simple that sounds, but this wasn't who he was all season, and he wasn't going up against this level of pass rushers. But
do you think the
can't
knee
happen in 3 weeks in a row?
How much do you think the knee is playing a factor? Not to go excuse mode,
but I don't know, because
you said it. He was not this.
That it felt good.
Yeah, but like you said, he did not look like this all year. So that's why when
he also didn't look like this in week 18.
That was a long time ago. I'm going to take your word for it. Yeah,
Dolphins.
Yeah. Dolphins were halfway to Cancun that day, so hard to fully put too much stock into that. But yeah, I think if you want to move him to guard, you're overreacting.
Yeah,
I just think the job gets that much harder this week. You're out there. If you're in a silent count, you're going off the movement of the defender. You know, you're looking over, you're looking forward, and you're kind of praying. You kind of got to cheat. I would expect a Will Campbell false start or two for that reason.
Yeah.
And Nick Bonito, like I said, 14 sacks. I don't know where he's at, Bonito, like in terms of when those came. If it was early in the year, I probably should have looked that up. But not a great matchup yet again.
That is fair.
Do you want to know? I got it now.
Sure.
In the last 4 weeks, he had no sacks from weeks 14 through 16, or games 14 through 16, and then had 1.5 in the last game against the Chargers when they were resting everyone. And he had 1 sack last week against Buffalo. So I would say a typical high sack number where they stack up in September and October and slow down in November and December. So perhaps the old quads are a little sore for Nick Bonito.
Yeah, and I think you do fear Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter significantly more, but still, he's a fantastic player. And it's could certainly be a major problem on Sunday. And like maybe we wound up looking stupid. Maybe the Patriots win by double digits and there's like Jarrett Stidham plays like garbage out there and we're all talking ourselves into a game that shouldn't be a game. But I think it still plays to us being, what are we now, 21 weeks into the season?
This is week 21, as it's commonly known.
Fully still knowing who the Patriots are completely as a team.
I think we do. I think we've seen enough where 7 guys have 2 or 3 catches, where Drake May has like 100 rating, gets sacked a lot, can run. I think what varies maybe is which running back is going, but they have consistent tight end play. So I don't think it's that crazy. I do want to add one thing, just one last thought on my little homework assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Will Anderson is awesome.
Oh, yeah, he's really good.
I can't think of a comparison for a player like that, like the size and speed and ferocity that he plays with. And then Danielle Hunter, that play, we didn't talk about this one. When he chased Drake May from behind, from like 15 yards behind him and got him for the sack, that was ridiculous.
Yes.
That might have been a Campbell sack, technically, but not really.
But it's, barely counts at that point.
But yeah, that's my homework. I hope you liked it. I'll never do it again.
You should do it again. It was great.
I have another thing to throw at you. You tell
Please.
me. You're like inside. You're always talking to, everyone goes to the Vrabel press conference. Doug's talking to the people deep in the building, getting the inside scoop. So this guy is important. Everyone's talking about McDaniel's familiarity with Jarrett Stidham this week, right?
Yeah.
He knows him well. He had him in Vegas. He had him in New England. He knows. How about this? Do you know who the director of game management / offensive line assistant is in Denver?
Evan Rothstein?
It's Evan Rothstein.
Wow.
Who knows the Patriots better than Evan Rothstein? They're screwed.
Probably a lot of people.
Screwed. Big time.
You know who else knows Jarrett Stidham? Josh McDaniels. It goes both ways.
I just said that.
No, you said that.
I said McDaniels knows Stidham.
Oh, okay. Well, you know who knows Josh McDaniels?
I guess.
Jarrett Stidham. No,
I think he's got enough on his plate where he can't lay out the playbook for the defense, but
he might do some helping out. But no, I don't think it plays a big factor. But yeah.
Yeah. So we've hit on all of my notes Patriots wise. We've hit on them. So I've got other stuff, but that's where I'm at Patriots wise.
No, I'm feeling pretty good. Do you have a game prediction?
Yeah, I think despite everything we've said, good, bad, otherwise, I think the Patriots are like, we haven't seen them play their best yet. So on the one hand, maybe they're due for another bad one. I think they're due for a good game offensively.
Okay.
And I don't think if there was a game-changing back on the other team, I think you could talk yourself into. I don't know. I said last week I don't see how the Texans could score 13. They scored 16. I'm sorry, I was off by 3. I'd say the same thing this week. I don't see the Broncos scoring. They have a great kicker in Will Lutz.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Will Lutz is their kicker. Did I have that right?
Oh, yes.
I did a lot of kicker work today. They'll score. It's mile high. You don't even have to get to the 50. I think they're going to score between 12 and 18 points, and I think the Patriots will score over 20. So however that plays out, I don't know, 24-13. But I think the Patriots, I think they score some touchdowns and win the game.
I said 24-20. I think that might require a defensive touchdown for the Broncos. But that's also not out of the realm of possibility.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the fumble thing's the key. Like Surtain, maybe you just avoid him.
Yeah.
He's that good.
Yeah.
There's other places to pick on him. And I just think the Patriots have enough. We always do the like, oh, no one thought they'd win this many games. Still, the craziest story of all is that the Patriots receiving core is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean,
not great.
But it is also funny how it fluctuates from week to week.
Yeah,
like, I remember
someone's
3 weeks
usually
ago
going.
being like, I don't know. And now after Kayshon Boutte and Stephon Diggs do what they do, it's like, I don't know, it's pretty good.
Someone's usually going,
Right. Yeah.
Like sometimes Douglas will disappear for 4 weeks and then he'll have a big game.
Then you'll have like a 70-yard touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the Patriots have enough. I think Stevenson's been huge. He's looked really good. That was the other thing on the rewatch. He just looks as good as he has in years. Just the confidence that he's running with. And if they can coach something out of Travion Henderson to do something more, they should be fine. So I think the Patriots win, score over 20. I'll call it 24 because that's what you said. And we are a team.
24-20, Patriots win. That's my prediction.
Pretty
Might
crazy.
not wind up being that close. And I mean, there's a Super Bowl trip on the line here.
It's crazy.
Patriots.
It's crazy. And I've heard this too from, I don't know, Twitter, the radio, whatever. The Broncos are now in sort of the more enviable position. Nobody's counting. Everyone's counting us out. We're the underdog. They think our quarterback sucks. And it's like, that does have some value. But then the game does have to be played. And I don't.
How much do so people who think that the officials are doing the bidding for the NFL and for ratings and all that, does the NFL hit the switch and say we can't have Jarrett Stidham in a Super Bowl? We got to have the Patriots win this game. I'm not a big NFL conspiracy guy.
Well, think about that, right? I always think about when I got to Phoenix in the 2014 season and they had the banners up in the city.
Right.
And it was like Brady. There was 3 players from each team. So it was like Russell Wilson, Richard Sherman, Marshawn Lynch. Right. And you're like, okay. And then it's like Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Dante Hightower. And I was like, And Hightower at that point was what, a
Yeah.
third-year linebacker. Like, we knew him well, but he
Right.
certainly wasn't a national name at that point. It was like, oh, I guess he makes the most sense.
Right.
Now do that for the Broncos. You get to San
Surtain.
Francisco. Surtain, who is a great player, but doesn't exactly have like national face recognition.
Bonito.
Times 2 what I just said.
And Zach Allen or Jarrett Stidham or J.K. Dobbins.
So from that standpoint, what you said certainly raises an eyebrow.
Whereas
but no,
for the Patriots, well, still though, for the Patriots, it's what, Diggs, May, and either Christian Gonzalez or Milton Williams.
Yeah. And now Gonzalez probably doesn't have that face recognition either. But
well, neither does Milton Williams, but Gonzalez has at least been.
Yeah, no. I mean, compared to like he's like Surtain, you know,
right? Yeah,
football people know, but a banner in the city.
Yeah,
it's not like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning up there.
Seahawks would be Darnold, Smith and Jigba, and Leonard Williams.
DeMarcus Lawrence, like
DeMarcus Lawrence, maybe.
Yeah. And then you have Stafford, you have Nakua.
And you have Devontae Adams.
And then the Landman, of course. Nate Landman. Yeah, it's a consideration. I don't think the NFL is rigged unless it's the middle of the game. Don't ask me then. Sometimes my eyebrow does go up when certain penalties are called against the team that's ahead by 10 in the third quarter. I get a little suspicious, but I would say on the whole, no, I don't think they'll rig the game. But it is interesting. Like, you got 2 weeks to pump that out. It's going to be a whole lot of Sean Payton.
Yeah.
A lot of Sean Payton.
Payton's guaranteed a victory for the Broncos. That's bold.
That's pretty nuts.
Did you have anything else?
So, a little pre-scouting for the Super Bowl for you, something for your tickler file. A lot of Roman numerals on the Seahawks roster. Okay, you ready for this?
Oh.
They have Byron Murphy II.
Okay.
They have Kenneth Walker III.
Okay.
And they have Ernest Jones IV.
Well, the Patriots have a ton too, don't
but
they?
They have 3 juniors on the practice squad. So theoretically, you could have a junior, second, third, and fourth. The only thing they're missing is, of course, your favorite receiver, David Sills V, which must go back to like vampire times.
I know that goes back pretty far. So
David Sills I must have like been on the Mayflower.
Right.
I can't do the math, but if you lay it out, yeah.
So Patriots have Efton Chisholm III, Carlton Davis III. They have Harold Landry III, Thayer Munford Jr., Marcellus Dial Jr. We're on IR now. I thought there was more than this. Jeremiah Farms Jr., John Saunders Jr., Trent Sherfield Sr., Leonard Taylor III. So there's a lot of thirds.
That is a record number of thirds.
Yeah.
That's like the rule of thirds photography.
Yeah.
That could be the.
Don't want it in the middle. You want it on the thirds.
No.
A lot of thirds. But yeah,
just
I try to use them in writing. I try to throw in the third.
It's nice. It's nice. I approve of all except senior. I think senior's a little showy. Senior's like, I have a child. But, if you want to be a great dad and you don't get yelled at, this app will break you, man. Sometimes people on Twitter will come at you for takes like that.
It is true.
I'd mentioned it earlier. What do you think of this? This is a sports thing. The Broncos not selling tickets to anyone outside of their area, I think, is so bad. And I know the Broncos aren't the only team that do it. A ton of teams do this across all sports. And it's just like, you don't get to do that. This is a free market. This is America. If someone wants to go to a game, they can buy a ticket to it. You can't restrict that. I think that's horse crap. You don't think so?
I don't know. You don't like, if you can do it, it gives you an advantage to not allow other fans in there.
It's kind of a candy ass move. I remember the San Diego Chargers did it when the Patriots went there. The famous lights out game. It's like, it's just soft. If you're afraid
it's a little soft. You can't be afraid of that.
What's the total number of Patriots fans that could travel to Denver on a week's notice, buy tickets, buy airfare, and there's a storm of the century that apparently is going to wreck the whole country.
I might not get back until I might just
live
fly
in Denver.
from Denver to San Francisco. I might have to walk.
Don't take your car. I was told, no, don't take a road trip. You could get stuck on the highway anywhere in America. But I just think it's, I don't know. What does that place hold? 80,000?
Less than that, but sure.
75,000? What are you talking about? 5,000 Patriots
Right.
fans.
Yeah.
It
Patriots
just,
fans travel well, but yeah, I don't think
it's almost like the public hit you take by looking soft is
right.
way worse than whatever impact
It's
it
fair.
would. I don't know many people. I know enough people. I don't know many people that can just up and disappear on a week's notice and go to Denver for a football game.
I mean, I will say there have been games in my life that I've covered, San Diego Chargers being one of them, that felt like it was a neutral site game.
But it was on the schedule, you know?
True. Yes.
That's a trip. You
yeah,
plan to go to
Tennessee
Southern
this year.
California.
Yeah.
Yeah, people plan that. I think you weren't planning this unless you're like,
There are people who kind of plan their lives around the Patriots. So yeah, no, I agree with you. It's the stadium's never going to be half full of Patriots fans unless it's LA or something like that. Like Denver fans are going to keep enough their tickets.
right. And it's
you
not
don't really have to worry about it.
it's not drivable. You know, if it was
Right.
like Baltimore, maybe
Yeah.
you could do that in a day. Even like Pittsburgh's probably pushing it. So like anything that's within an 8-hour drive, I could see you don't want to do that. But I just thought it was soft and it doesn't
Yeah.
look good. And if you lose, it makes you look worse. We mentioned it earlier. The Cooks catch is being relitigated because an NFL Films clip, I assume, shows a version which looks the exact same as every other
Yes.
angle I've seen. But for some reason, people are like, oh, when you see it from this, it's actually
because
a catch.
it's because it's literally
Slow.
slowed down so much. Like people are tricking themselves into this. And listen,
Smart people too. I saw Jeff Schwartz tweeted out, Chris
Yeah.
Trapazzo. Like I've seen these, and they're both just like, "Oh, I think it's a catch now," and it's like, this is the same video. It's not a different play.
no. I mean, I also have a bone to pick with you though, because I think the Devontae Adams play
No, you corrected
and the
me
Brandon
in the
Cooks
moment.
play
Yeah, you corrected me in the moment.
are so different.
Yeah.
Like Devontae Adams catches the ball, then goes down to a knee, then is fighting another player for the ball while down on one knee.
Mhm.
That like him fighting for the ball is the football move you're looking for.
That's number C.
There
Yeah,
was
letter
no
C.
fight between McMillan and Cooks.
No, you corrected me in the moment. So
transferred to the other guy.
retract your bone. Retract your
Okay.
bone because you corrected me in the moment. I said, yeah, you're right. And like, there's a bunch of clips going on. I saw one today. It was a Bengals.
Oh, yeah, T.
Bengals
Higgins?
Broncos game. It
Yeah.
was to Yoshovich.
Oh,
Yoshovich. I struggle with that one.
Yoshevich.
Where he went up, caught it, went down, and on the ground tucked it to his chest, and then it got ripped out. It was ruled a catch. Denver challenged. It was upheld, and it's like, yes, because he tucked it. All
Right.
Brandon Cooks had to do was yank it to his chest, and it would have been a third move. But instead,
or just
he lost it immediately.
or fight for it rather than it just literally transferring over.
Yeah.
The
Are we
slow-mo
being-
was tripping people up to a degree that I didn't think was possible.
I just thought we had done this. You
Yeah.
know, we already fought this war. The
Yeah.
war is over. The
Yeah.
troops have been sent home,
The
and here we are
damage has
again.
been done, my friend.
Yeah, but I just don't have it in me to. Are we being too condescending?
I don't care.
Okay, I've been criticized.
They deserve condescension.
One time I got fired from the radio and ended up reading like a Reddit thread about it, and someone called me condescending, and I was like, "Am I condescending? I try to be fun and lighthearted, but so I took that random Reddit criticism to heart. So maybe we're being condescending on this, but we tried to educate, we try to help.
Well, the thing is, people have already given us the 5-star review when they started listening to this
True.
podcast.
Good
and now they
point.
can't retract it.
That's a good point. I have one final bullet point to get to in my long
Sure.
list of notes. Do you want to know what it is?
Yeah.
Sean McVay just turned 40 or is turning 40.
He's a 1986 guy.
He's an 86 guy.
Yeah.
He's on the verge of coaching his third Super Bowl team.
Wow.
Is he the most successful 1986 person?
Oh, man.
Because I Googled it after thinking this thought.
Yeah.
The Gemini results. Excuse me as I digest. Drake
Yeah.
came up.
Oh, Drake's probably, yeah. Drake's
Lady
most successful.
Gaga came up. I did
Yeah.
not know the Gogs was an 86er.
No.
Ryan
Bruno
Coogler.
Mars.
Ryan
Yeah.
Coogler came up, which is interesting because he's made some enormous movies before
Yeah.
the age of 40. We did not. You and I did not come up on the results.
That's weird.
Despite-
I'm sure that if we keep scrolling, we'll come up.
Despite our successful
Whoa.
divisional round playoff podcast.
There's two people in sports who are oh nope. You know what? This is why you don't trust
You
Google
got
AI.
Gemini. You got AI.
Michael Phelps was on here. He's in 85. But Usain Bolt, August 21st, 1986.
Not to diminish, but it's like a sprinter. It's just like gone, you know? You don't get to do it for 20 years like a team athlete might get to do. Like kids these days don't know who Usain Bolt is. We do because we're 86ers.
Yeah. It is interesting that the first three people listed on here, Lady Gaga, Drake, and Bruno Mars, none of whom go by their real names.
Interesting.
Lady Gaga,
what's Sean
Stephanie
McVay's real name?
Germanotta, Drake, Aubrey Graham, Bruno Mars, Peter Hernandez. Also kind of odd these things are not more well known.
Peter Hernandez.
I feel like in the past you would have like someone's real name like that would have been common knowledge.
Right. You know? I've never heard Bruno Mars's real name.
Like I knew that Hulk Hogan's real name was Terry Bollea.
Yeah. I did know Lady Gaga's. Drake I knew was Aubrey because that's a pretty memorable name. But anyways, I don't know. When Sean Payton got hired, 2017, he was 30.
Yeah.
And we were also that age. And we were like, what? That doesn't make a lot of sense. So I just think it's a triumph for 86ers if the Rams win this game, which I don't think they will.
I don't think so either, but I think they have a chance.
I do think they have a chance. Just it's hard when a team wins 41-6 to go the next week and be like they're vulnerable.
Right. It feels like they're rolling right now.
And I think the Rams are kind of gassed.
Yeah.
But that would be good for you. You're going to Seattle next year. Patriots are going to Seattle. If it was a Super Bowl rematch. If
there's a Super Bowl rematch, that'd be cool, yeah.
Prime time on the West Coast. You got to love that.
Oh, that would be sweet. 5 p.m. game. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Super Bowl has to happen first. So that's technically what is the next step. That's
true. Okay. Well, we will talk to you guys on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Win or lose, regardless of outcome. Unless
I'd say
Mike cuts his foot open again or something.
I could do it because if you go to the emergency room these days, you wait a minimum of 4 hours.
That is true.
Let's just plan it publicly after the NFC Championship game so that the Super Bowl will be set one way or another. People may or
hotel room.
People may or may not care.
I'm not gonna tell you guys where I'm staying.
I don't need that.
I don't need a huge crowd outside the hotel.
Is it
for autographs?
Is there a pool? You should do the podcast in there, like the echo of the pool, maybe from the hot tub.
Maybe I'll do that.
All right. Great. Well, I think the Patriots are going to win, Doug. I think there's going to be a Super Bowl.
I think they'll be Super Bowl bound, but there's only one way to find out: by watching the game
at 3 p.m. on CBS.
It's gonna be 1 p.m. in Denver. That's gonna be so weird.
Ooh, it's a Romo game.
Stay
Stay safe, everybody.
Jim.
Stay safe, everybody. He's been on one. Sync your radios. Or I bet it's on Westwood 1 too. If you like, I bet like Kevin Harlan or someone's calling it on Westwood 1.
Maybe like Jason McCourty's on there or something.
Yeah, I would, do what you want to do, but that's an option you got. Got many options.
All right. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.